I don't think you can talk about the 20th anniversary year of Baptist Generals playing together without talking about the band you never heard of. The band that came and went in the early part of my songwriting experience, Poor Bastard Sons, a band performing for this short set of 20th anniversary shows here in Texas. Poor Bastard Sons is the first of a 3-band lineup that begins September 19th in Austin, Texas. You can find out about these shows at thebaptistgenerals.com in the news section. This is the very short story of Poor Bastard Sons. I never intended to be a songwriter. I was a drummer for 9 years, but when I moved to Denton in the summer of 1988, I studied filmmaking in English. In this town, though, I was surrounded by musicians. My peers were pursuing their lifelong music aspirations, and I was in a shitstorm of personal and emotional drama. My father was dying of cancer and other maladies. I was a writer. Watching my father was a very slow and progressive path leading towards a withering death. I discovered that music was the only consoling activity that helped me through my day-to-day pain. I lived with Jason Williams, let's call him Jake from here on. We lived at 517 Hickory, where Bernard Street butts in with Hickory. I had been playing with Steve Hill on drums. We'd sat on Fry Street and played songs for beer money, for Mickey's 64-ounce money. Steve moved back to Hudson, Wisconsin, and Jake took me in as a roommate. He was a masterful guitar player, a studied musician, and I would write songs, and he would become the violin and cello for music where my too busy brain was hearing an entire orchestra. Our band would be called Poor Bastard Sons. From 1997 to 1999, we worked with each other on songs. My young dog Brunswick peed all over the house, and Jake put up with it. I bought a Tascam 464, the absolute Rolls Royce of cassette 4-track machines, before the early fucked up digital formats entered the marketplace. As Poor Bastard Sons, we made a cassette called Excredio, The Difficult Years. Excredio is Latin for shit, if you didn't know it. We were written up in the Dallas Observer for our humble cassette offering, back in a time when music publications actually read other music publications. It was all fortuitous and accidental. Poor Bastard Sons made broken music. It was cornball. It was country music. I leaned heavily on Roger Miller. Though, from my experience working in record stores, I had a well-rounded experience with punk and indie music. Brent Best had seen us play on the street in Denton and invited us to open for his band, Slobberbone, at Jim's Diner on Fry Street. We did it. Dan Mojica of Dan's Bar booked us with the Gourds, and we became fast friends, and that band got us to Europe, which would eventually lead us to being on Sub Pop Records in the U.S. But I was real scared of Poor Bastard Sons. And there was this alt-country movement with Uncle Tupelo leading the quote-unquote movement in a magazine called No Depression, and its editor and writer Peter Blackstock wanting to talk to me. This alt-country stuff looked like a fad to me. People would dress up for shows like it was some Louisiana hayride cosplay thing. And all I could imagine was something that was going to end as quickly as it began. One night in Austin, we were playing at Liberty Lunch, and a friend approached me and said, "Peter Blackstock is here and he wants to talk to you." I grabbed my suitcase and my guitar case, and I got the hell out of there immediately. Was it a good decision looking back now? No, probably not. And I wasn't happy with Poor Bastard Sons. It was cornball on so many levels. I wanted to do something with an edge. And Jake was a noodler. I couldn't get him to drone a note and feedback. I would go on to start a band called the Baptist Generals, who has since, with a stupid name like that, been booked by every mediocre promoter as a good touring headliner for every local well-intentioned bluegrass act. It's definitely not the kind of music we make, but I guess we're too far along to change that. I always thought of Baptist as rebirth and invention, and here we are. But also, at 50 years of age, I think about Poor Bastard Sons. And despite all of its cornball tropes, I love the hell out of it. I'm so proud of this music now. It was a great first effort. Come see us play if you can. She didn't shoot me with a gun. She didn't hang up the phone. She didn't ask me to leave her alone. She just blew me off. She didn't throw a lamp at me. She didn't even laugh at me. She didn't ask for a diamond ring. She just blew me off. What am I, a fool? Just a fool, delusional, unusual in my way of seeing things. Well, you understand if you'd seen her eyes. I just can't begin to explain. If you'd held her hand when she stopped talking, she just blew me off. And I could quench the orange skies first day of autumn, and I'm driving home. She didn't give it much lip. I guess she'd just rather just leave it alone. And there's death and there's cold in her eyes, they are sinking. I guess my words don't mean a damn thing. Well, she's like the road and a halfway's a long way from here. What am I, a fool? Just a fool, delusional, unusual in my way of seeing things. Well, you'd understand if you'd seen her eyes. I just can't begin to explain. If you held her hand when she stopped talking, she just blew me off. Well, you'd understand if you'd seen her eyes. I just can't begin to explain. If you held her hand when she stopped talking, she just blew me off. Almost. We'll be there by the 19th.